Hey guys, your girl Bella. How are you? Hope everyone is doing well. So today is Fix My Credit Friday. Now in today's segment, I'm going to do something a little different. Normally I would take questions from one of you guys, either from Instagram, via email, or Facebook, and answer it in today's video. Instead, today I'm actually going to talk about my own credit journey, just so I can be a little bit more transparent. I've had this YouTube channel for about a year now, and I figured now is time to kind of tell you guys more about myself. So let's kind of rewind time a bit and go back to 2013. So in 2013, I was at a point in my life where I was ready to purchase a home. So luckily for me, I had some really great people in my circle who are into real estate, and they were able to put me in contact with a really great loan officer. So then the process starts, right? So the first thing, of course, is they want your income, W-2s, pay stubs, and then they run your credit. Yikes, right? So they ran my credit, and of course there were things on there that I knew were there. There were bills that I hadn't paid or I forgot about. There were things that I didn't even know about that we had to end up disputing. We'll go into that later. So yeah, it was like, wow. Okay, so then of course, you can't be approved for a mortgage unless you clear all of these things up. So I kind of hit the ground running. You know, I contacted various creditors. I had a medical bill that I had to pay. I ended up doing a pay for delete, so I paid it in full and they took it off of my credit report. I had 2 outstanding credit cards. They were really small that went into collections, so I had to pay those off. I had owed money to my grad school where I went for my MBA, and I had to pay that off. So it was a lot of budgeting, a lot of fussing and fighting and crying and stressing out of how am I going to pay all this stuff to kind of get myself going. But I figured it out. I did it step by step. It definitely took quite a few months to kind of get all of this together, but I did it. And then shit hit the fan. Oh my God. So as I mentioned before, I have my MBA. So like everyone else, I have a bunch of student loans outstanding. And there were like 10 different accounts because I never consolidated my accounts. Don't ask me why. Hindsight's always 20/20. And all 10 accounts were reported as 90 days late. So I went from a 620 to 630 credit score range, which was a decent credit score, right, to a really shitty credit score. I'm talking about 498 to 512 in that range. So then, you know, the whole deal basically fell apart. I was working with a credit repair agency or whatever, and they were trying to fix the 90-day late with Nelnet. Because I actually I had applied for deferment, and it was supposed to take care of the 2 payments that I was behind on, but for whatever reason, I'm not sure what happened, I don't know, it didn't take care of those. And then when my 3rd payment came due, and I didn't pay that because the deferment was supposed to cover those 3 payments actually, I don't know what happened, it didn't fix it, so then they were reported 90 days late. So the credit repair agency took the letter that Nelnet had sent me to confirm my deferment, and we tried to dispute it, and it did not work. So, I mean, it was just really bad. I was so upset, I was so depressed, and then other things fell apart with the deal as well. The seller did not have a certificate of occupancy for the deck. Then there was like a church being built across the street. There was an empty lot across the street, and there was a church being built. Nothing against churches, but I'm just saying I wanted to live on a nice quiet street. Once you have a church, there's a lot of foot traffic and cars, right, and events and weddings, and I didn't want to live across my church. I mean, don't judge me. So many things fell apart with that deal. Of course, I wasn't going to tell anyone that it was because of my credit. I only told a very small circle of people that was one of the big reasons why the deal fell apart. But, you know, I told everyone else that, oh, you know, the seller didn't have a CO, the church across the street, I didn't want that anymore, so I walked away from the deal. That's what the outside world knew. not 100% truthful, but no one wants to talk about bad credit, right? No one wants to admit they have bad credit. No one wants to talk about the issues on their credit report. And I definitely was not one of, I definitely was one of those. I was not sharing my business with the world outside of my very small circle of close friends and family. So that really, at that point in time, we were talking about, now we're in 2014, because there was a lot of back and forth with trying to get things fixed and back and forth with the seller. For 2014, at this point, the deal was totally off the table. And I don't know, it just really hit me like I failed at something, you know, and I was so depressed. I was so sad. I was so angry at myself for letting all of this crap happen, because a lot of it could have been prevented if I was a little bit more proactive with my credit. But I was never really someone to check my credit. You know, I knew I had decent credit. I've always been able to buy a car. I've always been able to rent an apartment. I've always been able to get a cell phone. I've always been able to get a job, you know, so I knew I had decent credit. I just didn't know exactly what my scores were, but I was like, they're good enough, right? So 2014 was a time where I was like, I'm done. I'm done with being ignorant. I'm done with stress. I don't want to find myself in this position ever again. So I signed up for myfico.com, and that like changed everything for me. I started to learn about utilization and how credit scores are calculated, what to do to help your credit, and there are a bunch of forums on there where you can kind of talk with other people to kind of pick their brains, hear their stories, their experiences, and that definitely did a lot for me. Now, I want to say around 2015, well, let's backtrack a bit. So 2014, I also went ahead and applied for 2 secured credit cards. Might have been 2013 too, don't quote me on that. But anyway, I applied for some 2 secured credit cards, one with Bank of America, one with Capital One, because I really wanted to start rebuilding my credit. You know, my scores were kind of so-so, but I needed to kind of get my scores in a better place. The 90-day lates with Nelnet definitely did not help. But anyway, we'll go into that in a bit. So I was really trying to be a little more proactive with my own finances and my own credit. So then in 2015, I decided to contact Nelnet myself to dispute the 90-day late. I wrote emails, I made phone calls, and I finally was able to get a case open. And within, I want to say 60 days, they finally deleted those 90-day lates. And it was such a great feeling. I didn't need a credit repair agency to do that for me. I actually did it myself. I took the time, I took the effort. I was like, it may not even work, but what else do I have to lose at this point? And it actually worked. So within a couple of months, my scores started to go back up. So now I was back in the 670, 680 range, which was really, really good, and really made me feel like finally my hard work was starting to pay off, you know? And it was really a good feeling. So then by 2016, I'm now back in the market to purchase a house. But now I'm on myFICO, I'm signed up for the alerts to be notified of any changes with my credit, any inquiries on my credit that I necessarily did not do myself. And I was really more diligent with my credit and paying attention to it like 24/7. I was borderline obsessed with my credit and my credit scores. So then now, 2016, I'm back to the market to buy a house, and then I go back to myFICO and I kind of fall upon the credit card form section. Not sure why I did that, but I did. And it like opened up a whole new world for me. It's insane. So there's a section in there called credit card approvals. And in this section, people kind of just give a little bit of information about the latest credit card they applied for and were approved for. They give you their income, their credit scores, their average age of account, their utilization, and their overall available credit limits amongst all their cards. And as I'm going through this form, I'm like, well, my scores are comparable or better than this person's, or my income is comparable or better than that person's. Why can't I could apply for a card then? But I had bad credit for such a long time that I didn't think those opportunities or those products were meant for someone like me. Why? I mean, I had bad credit, and even once my credit was better, I still didn't think those things were for someone like me. I thought those kind of cards and products were for people that had like 750 scores, 800 scores, and I was like, 670, 680. Decent, but I didn't think those products were still work for someone like me. So to see people in this forum who were in the same situation, or even a little bit of a worse situation, let's use proper English, we're getting approved for these cards. So I'm like, well, why can't I apply for these cards? So I did. And so I applied for a bunch of cards, probably too many. And all of a sudden my scores went up even more. Now I'm in the 700s because I had these cards, but my utilization was low, or like zero. Some of the cards I wasn't even using, or I was using and paying them off in full, so there was no balance reported. So it was like, wow, this is like great. And then, we'll go into the credit card part later, but the point of this whole story is that bad credit is not a life sentence. I know when you have bad credit or you have challenges and the bills are piling up and you're like, I don't know how the hell I'm going to do any of this. I'm just here to say, if I can just help one person today, that's really the point of my video. You can absolutely do it. Is it hard? Hell yes. Are there days you want to give up? Absolutely. But you have to keep pushing. You have to keep trying. You have to keep fighting. Because if you don't fight, no one else is going to fight for you, right? So now I'm here today in my home. I record out of my house. I'm in my beautiful home that I closed on with my now husband in 2016. So at the closing table, they kind of give you these sheets and they have your credit scores. And my credit score ranges were 715 to 725. And that was such a great feeling, right? Because just 3 years prior to that, in 2013, my scores were 498 to 512. So, like I said in my intro video, I have been through it all. And I'm here as an proof that you can do it. You can absolutely do it. You just have to fight. You have to push. You have to work at it. There are no quick fixes. I know there are companies out there that sometimes oversell and underdeliver, but if you are willing to put in the work, you can absolutely repair your credit. And that's why I started my channel. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm on Instagram every day. I'm putting out more videos because I'm really here to help and educate, because I know if I've been through it, there's someone else out there who's also going through it and just fighting and trying to find a way to kind of get through it. So I'm here to help. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you guys so much as always for listening and tuning in. If you want to share your story with me, you can either comment below or send me an email. I'll kind of post that up here when I edit my video. Or you can DM me on Instagram. All right, so thank you so much guys for watching, and don't forget to hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. All right guys, thank you so much. Talk to you later. Bye.